This is a response to ChankenHSW, Travis, my buddy, and the person who is probably my best friend on the internet. I've known him for, he said it was, I think you said, Travis, it was about a year. I think it's been about 2 years now that I've known you. And maybe a year and a half, something like that. And, you know, we met on another site. And I want to make a comment on this whole thing about homosexuality that you brought up. And I try to make this video short, but you know, I'd like to try to cover some things. I am very angry every time I look at Love Jesus Please video. I get very angry, and that young ignorant man makes me very angry. He's more a sophist than anything else. You know, you said, you know, he got some things wrong. I think he's got completely the wrong attitude about homosexuality. And so I looked at your video and his video that you responded to. As far as Christianity is concerned, I want to really emphasize this and drive this home. The point is that people don't know Christ. That's the point. Not justifying people who have some, you know, nominal Christianity, who want to feel good about themselves. And that's what made me mad about Love Jesus Please. It wasn't the only thing that made me mad. Very, extremely mad about Love Jesus Please. It's one of those videos that, you know, is kind of soft and, you know, supposedly gentle, but when you listen to what he's saying, it's completely, in my opinion, perverse. You know, homosexuality is not the issue for people who don't know Christ. And for all these people that don't know Christ out there that claim they do, that makes me angry, the hypocrisy, both when it comes to hating homosexuals and when it comes to justifying, hating Jesus Christ is what it basically comes down to. That's what I see in Love Jesus Please, is a hatred for Jesus Christ, because he obviously doesn't know him, and yet he is calling down other people. He's calling down somebody else whose video I didn't really watch completely. I watched yours and I watched Love Jesus Please video. You know, as, oh, I don't even know you're a Christian. Well, that's pretty hypocritical, you know, Love Jesus Please. You know, you who do not support Christ, and then come down on other people as if they don't know Jesus. Love your video, Travis. And the issue is not homosexuality. The issue is Jesus Christ. If you're in Christ and you need guidance or something, then the issue can become, one issue is homosexuality, but even that is not the issue with Jesus Christ. The issue is holiness before God. And that includes, you know, I mean, you know, and I'm sorry, yes, I do believe that homosexuality is wrong. I do believe it's a sin, but I just don't believe it deserves the pedestal type of treatment it has been getting on YouTube. Why would we be talking to non-Christians, or theoretically, if it would even be possible, you know, because Christians, I believe, are a very small group of people. People who have been born again are even smaller group. And broadcast everybody your opinions about supposedly homosexual Christians. It's not the issue. Jesus Christ is the issue. Homosexuality is evidence of not following Jesus Christ, I would say. And I believe that's what Christianity says. I believe that's what God says. I believe the Bible agrees with that. There are three that testify on earth: the water, the Spirit, and the blood. It didn't say the Bible testified on earth. It's a manual for Christians, for people who want to follow Christ. And most people couldn't give a damn about following Jesus Christ. So it should not receive the attention that it's receiving. Whether I'm around somebody homosexual or anybody, it's not just homosexuals, but anybody. I love people, period. Jesus changes you. So the issue is Jesus Christ. The issue is never homosexuality. The issue, it's a minor issue. It's kind of like somebody saying, well, are you a Christian? Are you a Christian? Are you a Christian that sins or not? The question is not whether you have sinned or whether you're sinning now, but are you following Jesus Christ? Because that eliminates sin. Because we gleefully ignore the gossip, which I believe is a worse sin than homosexual. I'm sorry. And I think the Bible backs me up on that. Romans 1. It's a progression to the worse, not to the better. Homosexuality, to me, is a very, I wouldn't call it anything minor in this respect, but I would say it's a more minor infraction. When you get down to gossip, and even worse, slander, and stuff like that, I think that's much worse than homosexuality. When somebody is living with someone, whether it be a homosexual or heterosexual relationship, that's a minor sin. It's definitely a serious sin, because all sins are serious. But we gleefully ignore the fact that we don't love one another, the cardinal command. The issue is Jesus Christ. If you don't know Jesus Christ, or if you think you know him and you don't really, or you want to believe that you know him, you believe that you know him. It's not about believing that you know him. It's about believing in him and knowing him. Another thing that made me mad about Love Jesus Please is he kept on, one time, it happened once, and I thought, well, maybe that's a mistake. I thought, well, probably it's not, and he did it twice. Love Jesus Please signed what's called the cornuto, a satanic symbol. The issue is always about Jesus Christ. The issue isn't even about sin. The issue is, have you come to a faith in Jesus Christ, when Paul says, even though you don't see, you believe him. And that is manifested in Christians' lives, in born-again Christians' lives. And only in born-again Christians' lives for the most part. I mean, there can be a little bit, but really, Jesus Christ is manifested in everything that's good, which includes forgiveness. It includes loving and receiving homosexuals, gossips, slanderers, murderers, God-haters. The issue is always not that whether we will receive, whether there's a receiving attitude on the side of the Christian, on the side of a born-again Christian, a true born-again Christian. It's whether the people in the world will receive you. And what you're doing is rejecting people, a lot, not you, but a lot of, and not, but a lot of people will reject people. And they'll say, they'll say, oh, sure, homosexuality is fine or whatever, or it's a sin, but it's okay, Jesus will change you. It's not about It's not about this issue where you're two-faced on it. Where if you know, if you openly you would say, well, it's, you know, oh, Jesus loves you and all this stuff if they're homosexual, but then when you meet them, you don't love them. That's what's wrong about it. That is what the world needs to learn, is the love of Jesus Christ. And you look around and you get confused because you see these people and they say they love Jesus Christ and they're there to confuse you because they don't love him. The question is not, you know, whether we're supposedly accepting them. The question is whether we are loving them, whether we really have Christ or are we just making excuses for any kind of sin.